Hi class. Today I'm going to show you a problem that's on the problem set. This is a trick that not all textbooks show how to balance certain equations. So I want to make sure that you are aware of how to do this. This is problem number 2 on chapter 4 problem set. So here is the problem that was missing on the problem set. I'll write it out. It's ammonium. We need blanks here. We're going to balance this. And sometimes equations don't balance straight through. You have to know a little kind of trick. And I have found that textbooks don't cover this. So it's important that you know this. All right. So we're going to balance this equation out. And the first thing you do is I balance on both sides. I write everything down symmetrical so that my eyes catch anything that's not matching. Don't make it more confusing for yourself. So I have 1 nitrogen and 1 nitrogen. Actually, let's just stick to one side. 3 hydrogen and 2 oxygen. On this side, I have 1 nitrogen, 2 hydrogen, and 3 oxygen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I notice that the hydrogen and the hydrogens, we have 3 on one side and 2 on the other. So I know that there's no way to balance this. I'm going to have to get a multiple. So 6 is going to work on here. So I know that if I put a 2 here, that's going to make this now 6 hydrogen. That's going to change this to 2 nitrogen. So I'm going to go over here and adjust this as well. So I'm going to put a 3 here. That's going to make this 6 hydrogen. And I'm going to add a 2. Well, let's fix this. And then 3 oxygen. So I have 2 here plus 3. That now makes this 5 oxygen. I'm going to have to adjust my nitrogen. So I have now 2 nitrogen, but now I've also adjusted the oxygen. So I have 4, 2 times 4 is 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3. So I have 7 oxygen. Okay, so let's go back on this side now. I have 2 nitrogen and 2 nitrogen. I have 6 hydrogen and 6 hydrogen, but I have 7 and 2. And I'm never going to be able to balance this out because 2 does not divide into 7 and we need whole numbers. So this is a trick that a lot of people, students I've encountered, don't know. And I'm not sure why textbooks don't show this, but they expect you to know it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 7 here, but I'm going to make it a fraction of 2. So what's really over here is 7 over 2. This is an odd number, and I have oxygen by itself. That's usually a clue. You have odd number of oxygen, or this could even be hydrogen. Anything that's by itself, there's a multiple of 2, and it's never going to go into it. So I made this 7 over 2 and 7. Now, what I'm going to do is multiply everything by, where's my little pin? I don't know where my pin went. By 2. Everything. So that means I'm going to multiply this. I'm going to multiply just everything through the compounds, okay? So let's go through this. I have 2 times 2, so that's going to make 4 nitrogen. I'm going to have, so this number is going to now be, let's make it down here. So I'm going to have 4 NH3 gas, okay? Let's just write it out and then I'll show you. Now, 7 over 2, let's go over here. 7 over 2 times 2 is really times 2 over 1. This is going to cancel out and leave a 7. So it's going to be 7 over 2, 4 nitrogen, plus 6 waters. And we can just kind of do an eye of this. There's 4 nitrogen, there's 4 nitrogen. There's 12 hydrogens, there's 12 hydrogens. So if you want me to write this out, let's write it out. 4 nitrogen, 12 hydrogen, 12 hydrogen. And now let's take a look. We have 14 oxygen. And let's see what we have here. We have 8 oxygen plus 6 oxygen. Makes 14 oxygen, and all of them are balanced. So the key thing is, if you balance everything and you're left with an odd number, it's usually hydrogen or oxygen, because that's usually the one gas that's by itself. if you get it to this point, you're going to have to do a fraction and then multiply everything by 2. And that usually 99% of the time will solve the problem. So the coefficients on here are 4, 7, 4, 6, and that will answer problem. This is problem number 2 in chapter 4. Okay, thank you.